Hey Stampers, it's Debbie with Stamp It with Debbie, and I'd like to welcome you to day 2 of the 12 days of Christmas. And today I have a fun project to do with you, and it is using the Signs of Santa stamp set, and it's a little cocoa holder, and in there is a packet of hot cocoa, a little bit of chocolate, and then there's also a stirring spoon with some marshmallows and peppermints on there. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to create this project. Set those aside there, and let's just talk about the things that we'll need first. We need a piece of Poppy Parade cardstock cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score that in a couple places. And then we also need a scrap of Whisper White for a circle that we're going to punch, and I've also used the layering circles to get this scallop circle. And we need 2 pieces of designer paper cut at 3 3/4 by 3 and 2.5 by 3 3/4. So the first thing that we are going to do is go ahead and score this piece of paper. So let me grab my scoreboard. And my scoring tool. And we're going to score on the long end at 5 inches, so I should probably pull this down a little, and at 5 3/4. And I'm going to turn it on the short end. We're going to score at 3/4 of an inch and 4 3/4 of an inch. And that's it. So we're all done scoring. We do need our paper snips. We are going to cut up on these little squares here, kind of in the center of the paper here. And you're going to want to use a really strong adhesive for this because it's a box, so you're going to want to hold it together really well. So just use your bone folder and fold in all of the lines really, or the score lines really well. Okay, and what we're going to do is basically form a box with this. And it's going to look like this. So the first thing that we need to do is we're going to cut off these corners. It's kind of hard to see here, but I just angled a little bit on there. So I'm not going to draw a line or anything. I'm going to kind of start here and cut up to the corner, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. So it's not perfect. It just gives it a little bit different look. And then I would advise using the Tombow adhesive. You can use that. You can use tear and tape. Today I'm going to use Fast Fuse. So I'm going to put some adhesive on here. And we want to bring the back part forward. So I'll fold this back so you can see a little better. We're putting that small tab inside of this longer piece here. So I'll show you over on this side. We just want to make sure that's real secure. The reason that I do that is I want to have my loose opening here, the raw edge to the back. So if I tuck all that inside, then I can do that real well. So I'm going to put some Fast Fuse on here. And again, you can use tear and tape. You could use the Tombow multi-purpose adhesive. Just have to hold it for a minute so that it could secure the 2 pieces together really well. So you can see the lines are the edges are lined up real well there. And then we're going to do the same over here. So now we have our box. And the next thing that we're going to do, we can go ahead and put the 2 pieces of designer paper. Oops. It's like my adhesive was trying to run away. We're going to put the larger piece on the inside and just leave a little 1/4 inch or an 1/8 inch border up here. And then we want to also put adhesive on this other piece. And this is going to go right here on the front. And then the next thing that we need to do is grab our 2.5-inch circle punch and a scrap piece of white paper and just punch out a circle. We're going to stamp our Santa image on that circle. And I have this Santa right here from Signs of Santa. We're also going to color him in with our blender pens. We need our Memento ink to put some ink on him. We're going to ink it up really well. And just go ahead and stamp it down. Oops, stamped off just a little. That's okay. And then I also want to, on the bottom, I'm going to stamp "Do not open until Christmas." So I'll put that right underneath. Whoops, make sure it's right side up. Put it right underneath Santa there. So we're all done stamping. And now we're just going to do a little coloring in. And as I said, I have the blender pens. I'm going to use the light petal pink to color Santa's face. And then I'm going to use the smoky slate, light smoky slate, to color in his belt buckle. And I'm also going to color in his nice and naughty list. I'd like to think it's the nice list only. And the last thing to do is color in the red. I'm going to use the dark Poppy Parade marker. And I'm just going to color in his hat. And I'll color in his suit. And I just remembered that I forgot to color his hands, so I'll go back and do that in just 1 minute. So this coloring goes pretty quickly. I'm really liking the Stampin' Blends markers. They don't leave any lines when you're coloring, and I really like that. They blend in really well, and there's a light and a dark color for each one, so that you can get some shadows going and blend them really well. But today I'm just going to color just one color. Now I'm going to go back, just color his thumb there and his hand over here. And then we're done with that part. I'm going to take some adhesive and put it together here, and then we're going to use some of the polka dot tulle. I'm using white. We're just going to wrap this around. Cut off enough so I can make a little bow over here. There's never any pressure to make a perfect bow when you're doing it in front of a bunch of people. So let's see. And this ribbon you don't want to pull too tightly or you will stretch it out. Okay, so I'm just going to use my scissors, my snips, and cut a little bit of an angle here on this end. The other end already had it. And then I'm going to use a couple dimensionals on the back of Santa Claus to pop them out of the front there. And that part is done. I'm going to put my ribbon aside and just clean up a little bit. So the next thing that we need to do is put our goodies inside. And I know my last project had some items from World Market. I guess I got a lot of treats from World Market because I found these really cute milk chocolate mini bars. They all have a little character on them. And that's what I'm going to put inside. And today I'm going to use the Santa Claus, since we have a Santa Claus here. I'm going to go ahead and put my cocoa in. And I want to secure my spoon so that it doesn't flop over. So I'm just going to use a glue dot. And I'm going to stick it right here up in this corner. So that way when I put my spoon in, I can just attach it wherever it naturally wants to go. And oops, that one doesn't want to stick. Let's see if that will. Alright, we'll put another one. Let's see. My other one just stuck right away, so I'm not sure why this one's not. Oh, geez. And end up squishing my marshmallows. Okay, that one took. Now, to get the piece of chocolate in there, I don't know if you can see this one, but I did put a little bit of crinkled paper inside. So I'm going to grab a little bit of that. Tuck it down inside, just to make it look pretty and give it a little bit of fluff there. And then I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of this as well. And tuck it right in there. So the only thing left to do is we want to put it in a cellophane bag just to make it look a little prettier. And I'm going to use these. They're gusseted cellophane bags. They're available in the annual catalog, and it's the perfect size to fit your treat inside of. I just opened it all the way, but as I put this inside of the bag, I'm going to bring the treat to the front of the fold here, just so that it kind of sits flat. Now I want to use some ribbon to tie this up, so I'm going to use the textured weave ribbon, and that is in Poppy Parade. I'm just going to cut off a little piece. And I'm going to reach in there and just kind of tuck this down inside a little more. And then kind of gather it up at the top. And use your ribbon to just tie a little knot. These are pretty easy to make up, and if you don't have access to these spoons, I did also get these spoons at World Market, but I've seen them at other places. I've seen them at Target, and actually if you Google online YouTube videos, I have seen YouTube videos on how to make these yourself. Just get plastic disposable spoons, melt up some chocolate. So those are pretty easy to make, and I think that anyone would like this as a little gift this holiday season, to let them know you're thinking about them. If you like what you see, I hope that you will come back again tomorrow for day 3 of the 12 days of Christmas. And you can also visit my blog at stampitwithdebbie.blogspot.com. We'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day.